feeling so free. Lost in the haze, just you and me. Smoke in the air, we're in our zone. Living in the moment, never long ago. Passing around in a circle we go. Sharing stories, letting our minds flow. Time slows down in a tranquil state. Every puff bringing a new escape. We're riding on.
Oh, hey, there we go. There we go.
Hello,
Hey, I can
hello.
hear myself in the headset too.
Sweet.
Do not disturb real quick. Hold on. How's it going, Reuben?
How is it going?
we were just catching up a bit, but how you been? How's your family? Last time you came on, you were heading down to Salt Lake City for like one of the biggest fights of your life because of your son. Now you guys are back with Atlas.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh man,
how's
dude.
the little guy doing?
He is doing amazing. He is definitely the epitome of a fighter. Like I try to not take any credit, but I can't just say it's my blood, but my wife's blood's Italian, so Rocky Balboa and that motherfucker, man. He is
Right.
a tough kid. He's been through 6 surgeries. People telling him he's gonna die. This, that, this, getting sad in a room, telling you got like a near-death experience with a little bit of I can't remember what it is with your trach, but he had like a little infection and it like almost borderline took his life. Like I spent at least like 160 hours in his room. I didn't leave. I just sat there. That was like one of the first times like it hit hard. Like I didn't leave. The only time I'd leave for about like, I try to go for about 30 minutes, but like the max would be an hour. I'd go see my family down at the Ronald McDonald House. It was down there on South Temple, which was like about maybe like 10-15 minutes from the hospital. And yeah, I'd run down there and I had to give a couple hugs, skip breakfast, and then run right back up there. And I was back up there all day and night, and it was a rough time. And that was like the time I really seen the perseverance of like a human soul.
Yeah.
And like that was the moment that forever will ever change me. It was something that like a regular human being won't ever get to see, especially with your own child. And behind them doors are where them angels work, man. Because dude, it was crazy. And he fought for his life. And one nurse found out like maybe he had something wrong with his trach. They did a tracheotomy or can't remember what it's called, but it's really they send a scope down there, they check out his bronch, and then they take out a little sample.
Right.
And then that's when they found out he was pretty sick from that. And then another nurse, Dawn, she was the one that found out about his G tube. It actually had popped. And they refixed that, and it seemed like after
What's a G tube?
a G tube is a gastronomy tube. It's a tube that they literally they go to your stomach and then they poke a hole in there and then they
That's
put.
how you use the bat.
No, that's how he gets fed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his feeding line, and
okay.
yeah, dude, like it was nuts. Because like when we went through the classes, it was like little simple stuff. It wasn't like, hey, it's going to pop within like a few months of having it and you guys are going to now fight for your child's life.
Right.
It was like none of that. It was like it may pop and you guys may have to change it. Dude, like when it popped, there was like no changes in it. There was nothing different. We were cleaning it, everything. And dude, like when she wiggled it, that was the day I was like, oh shit, that's why this is all happening. This is why he's getting sick. And then it's not just the trach. Because he had one of those prior, and he kind of got over it, kind of rough, but, like, he got over it.
Right.
This time, he was, like, sick. He'd only open his eyes
his
for...
body was fighting 2 different infections.
Yeah, it was hardcore. He'd only open his eyes for about 30 minutes a day.
Oof.
And he was back to like either hardcore crying or because he with the trisomy 18, a lot of in like a tracheostomy, a lot of things get changed. A lot of things that like like their voices change. And with a baby, they lose their cry. And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but like I really miss those moments as when I first became a father, of when my baby would cry at night. You know, like he doesn't cry. He only makes like a gurgle, and it's weird, yeah. But like it's almost like now that I've been through it so much, like you can tell when he's excited, and it's something that I've gotten used to over the time. And like when it first happened, like it's scary. No parent should ever go through that shit.
Right.
But like when they see that, like it was in a really like hard time. They gave us two choices. We went down there for a heart surgery. Then at that time, we didn't know, but he had really, really bad um, what is it called again? Hypertension in his lungs, and that's what was really making it hard for him to breathe. So they kind of gave us the two choices of like, should we do the heart surgery now, or should we do a tracheostomy? And with the tracheostomy, it came with a couple other surgeries. At the time, he had a few hernias. He was a couple months old, and he hadn't really moved. And when you don't move when you're a baby, you develop weird things.
Right.
And that's one of the things you develop is hernias. And like, yeah, dude, it was hernias, a tracheostomy, the G tube, and a circumcision. We just did that all in one go.
Damn.
And like
Well, got
when
right
you're,
to it.
oh yeah, dude, and then when you're put in one of those situations, they tell you like he's gonna, like when my oldest son, I didn't really choose to have him circumcised, but like when they came at us, they're like, he's gonna need it. You don't want him to get older and get an infection. You guys don't want to do this forever. But yeah, so we went with the whole, they call it a NICU makeover. They do everything in one go.
Shell.
And dude, it was, oh snap, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He's like, I forgot the chat was up there.
Yeah, I was like wondering when it was gonna start popping up. I thought it was just a blank screen, but yeah. After a few surgeries, he was breathing better. He started becoming way better. His his how would you say it? His view towards life got way better from there, and it instilled a little hope in my wife and I. We got to really see our baby brighten up. And not only that, we got to see our baby's face. Our baby had a mask over his face from when he was born until, every time the only time we'd get to see him is they'd put a candlet in his nose. And that didn't really do justice either. And when they did the tracheostomy, it just showed his face. It gave him a chance to breathe and cry. And it's weird to say, but it was the first time I got to see my baby actually cry. And it really broke me down because with all my kids, you get to go into the delivery room, you see your baby cry, you do these first things with mom, and
Right.
That was all taken from me. It was I shouldn't say really taken from me. I really don't like using these words because now when I've gone through this, I used to think that way before I was ever in the NICU or the PICU, those things must have been taken from them, and it's not really taken. I was blessed with these things. I got to see this other side of what the positive is, and so after all the surgeries, he had a heart surgery. He had a life-death experience, and then he healed very, as many times as I've gotten told with Atlas, never ever doubt any child.
Right.
It doesn't matter whatever they got diagnosed with. Never ever doubt them because, dude, he made a turnaround, which was crazy. And then it was a fight to come home. Dude, we were bless if there's a family ever out there watching this and you guys are struggling with, totally understand. We were put in a choice of, do we come home or do we stay there and fight for him there? The choices of coming home were very, they outweighed staying down there, by far.
Right.
But the only choices that we could have made, like right then and there, was stay there. So we tried to stay there, and like the housing and all that in Salt Lake City is crazy, man.
Well, aren't they like twice the size of us?
No, they so there was a 2 bedroom apartment. They wanted 1550, and they wanted you to have documentation to show that you make 3 times the rent, and you put in a security deposit, 2 months of rent, and a first and last.
Jesus Christ.
So you're
dude.
paying like 4 times the amount that first go around. And then I was like, so I get to live the first 2 months free. And they're like, no, you pay the next month. So I'm like, how does somebody recover from these like 2-3 months worth of rent, and you want them to pay the next month? And yeah, dude, it was nuts.
Dude, that's how I feel here. Like, when I hear what people pay for rent and that they had to put fucking 2 months rent down and a deposit, I'm just like, wait, what? But it's because they want that first and last month's rent. But
I like
still,
it
dude,
around here, man, dude. Like
It's
when
still expensive here too, though.
when I got my first few apartments here, dude, like they were very easy to get. So I kind of thought the same thing when I was down there. Very deceived. In a bigger city, the gym or you really noted like where you were at and where you stand in like the whole tax bracket.
Right.
And then like we found like a few places that were possibilities, but we just knew it wouldn't work for Atlas. Like we would literally be like living in the living room while he had his own room. And we just didn't want to do that for my 2 other sons that were along with the ride, you know?
Yeah.
We just didn't want them to grow up in Salt Lake City in the living room with mom and dad. And then we later found out like that wasn't a possibility. If we did that, we'd actually get CPS call.
Oh,
So
shit.
yeah, dude, it was nuts, man. So then that was like the choice of like, yeah, it's a catch-22. You guys need to go back to Montana. So that process began, and dude, it took like weeks. It took like one doctor, the doctor that he has now, and he's like, all right, I'll do this because it seems like they want to come home. And dude, like, the things that I've seen in this hospital, it's wild, man. Like, shout outs to Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City. They're one of the best children's hospitals in the nation. It's shown daily. They have everything is specifically for the child.
Yeah.
There's nothing that even like revolves around the adult. The adult is barely like just an asset. They're there to help the child.
Right.
And like it's a whole child hospital, and it was an experience that was definitely life changing, and it's something that I'll never ever forget. And I pray for all those people. I pray for the 2 women that took Atlas as his own primary nurse. We didn't even go through that process of getting him as a primary nurse. They're just like, hey, we love your son, and we're going to take care of him like he's one of our own. And that's what the whole thing of primary nurses is like. They were there all the time, watching him, taking care of him, loving him. And like, because like, dude, the Trauma 5, the whole thing is just, it's wild. And then, yeah, we made it back home. And he's doing great. But we know this is the crazier thing, because we know we're going to be back. It's going to be for a lot of different reasons. The biggest one is he was diagnosed, oh man, I want to say in February. He was diagnosed with hepatoblastoma, which is liver cancer. And with that, because he has trisomy 18, this is where it kind of gets like, damn, he has this birth disease, this birth defect. And then now, it's a good thing, because now it slows down the cancer. So now like that's something that's life changing now is slowed down by a birth defect. So because he has trisomy 18, the liver cancer develops very, very slow. So like with trisomy 18 too, is like it's very rarely studied. There's only a few cases with kids that get developed hepatoblastoma, but it's a very common thing. So they're like, don't be alarmed. They're like, we know somewhat about it. and expect it to be a year, maybe 2 years. They even said maybe expect 3 before we even take any intervention. So we're really looking forward to spending all that time as we can with Atlas,
Right.
and just giving him the best possibility at life. Even though he's trach bound and all this and that, we want to. It sounds crazy now, but this time last year, I said I just wanted to make it to his first birthday, and here in 2 weeks, it'll be his first birthday.
Damn.
So, yeah, I want to take him to like Yellowstone National Park, or I want to take him places and show him shit, and
Right.
yeah, give him a hell of a life before we go back and fight this ugly shit. And
Right, because you don't know what the outcome could look like.
nobody knows the outcome of anything. Tomorrow is a very different day, and tomorrow is tomorrow, and we'll never know what happens tomorrow.
Right.
But I have big hopes. And through all of this, it told me to give a self-belief and belief in other people, belief in this universe, and strongly it gave me a belief in God, because, man, there was days where I was sitting there and that's all I had was God. And I just said, man, dude, can you do this one thing for me? And he granted it. And he gave me another day, and here I am. And this morning, we had a great morning, me and Atlas. But yeah, we got all this together, and now we're he's today we had a care conference, which is crazy. And then our doctors looked at him and said, really, it's really all on us. We're actually still looking for a home, all this and that, and but they said he's pretty much ready to discharge. He's ready to go home. They still want to do a couple things with him, especially with his case. It's rarely studied, so it's a give and go. So whenever
Right.
we can get a place, we're gonna get him in there, and we're gonna start living life.
Well, fuck yeah, dude. That's good.
But me, Shann, I'm always busy as hell. I'm always
man, I
either
feel that.
fighting or
I feel
doing
that.
something. So, I'm now next time planning a whole MMA event now. So,
Right.
So
I seen that
it's-
you had a fight while you were down in Salt Lake.
man, dude, I fought so many times last year, but last year I really I know what people finally went through. I watch a lot of fighters, and they're like, man, my son this and my son that. And back then, my arrogant self would have been like, well, I could fucking do that. I could fucking go through that. But now sitting in their shoes, it's one hard motherfucker to do. Dude, like I was, man, when I fought Ken Mafaleo back in December, dude, it was borderline one of the hardest camps of my life. I literally would have to drag myself to training camp. Like, dude, it was because that was about the time he had heart surgery 1 week before I fought Ken Mafaleo. And dude, it hit me hard. And I'm not trying to bitch or make any complaints or anything. I'm not trying to say
No,
that's
it's
the reason
totally
why I lost
understandable.
and this and that. I die and I live and die by the shield. So yeah, dude, it was hard.
I was curious and that's the whole reason I had brought up that I had seen that you had a fight down there, was because I knew you had lost it, but I was curious if your camp had been affected by everything that had been going on, so the
I
fight
wouldn't really say
didn't really come out as
I wouldn't really
probably
say
should have.
affected, but and this is something that I live and die by. It's how you embrace the storm. You can either, it's like what they have with the natives. The cow will always run away from the storm, but the buffalo will always run into it.
Right.
Running into that storm, you never know what the outcome is going to be, and that's what that every fight since Atlas has been in the hospital has been running into that storm, expecting whatever is going to happen on the other side. I'm kind of on a little skid right now. But in that time, a lot of people really neglect of in that time of who I fought. I fought Ken Mafaleo. Ken Mafaleo is the #1 heavyweight in Utah. He was actually the former Fierce Fighting Championship champion, pro heavyweight champion, and the amateur heavyweight champion. And he was actually Steel Fist, the other major organization out there. That he was their pro champion. So he wasn't a light motherfucker. But on the other hand, I truly believed I could have whipped his ass. Did I say I had a little bit of play in it? A little. But it was my own preparation. I was with a different camp. I was with a different team. Huge shout out to Fight City. They're not to be fucked with, but on the other hand too, it wasn't people I was really used to training with.
Right.
It wasn't people that I called every day and brother. These were people there to like try to kill me.
Right.
And I really appreciate. That's why I really give him a huge shout out. That was one of the things that really changed my view. That was like a very high level of training, and that's why I very encourage a lot of people, whoever people who train here in Montana, to do. I'd go out to every training camp outside the state of Montana and check it out, because you're gonna find high level. I trained with Chris Weidman. Oh, dude, man, I trained with a whole bunch of UFC level.
Who's that like master trainer? I can't remember his name.
I trained with Court McGee. He's fighting tonight in
Not
UFC.
the Gracies. What? Fuck, I can't remember his name. He used to just be like a banker, I think it was, and then all of a sudden just started living and breathing fucking jiu-jitsu. And literally learned it all off of fucking videos and shit. Doesn't fight himself, but one of the best fucking teachers ever.
Man, dude, like
jiu-jitsu
is a crazy sport, and I love jiu-jitsu. It's something that like changed my life. Huge shout out to Jared Stewart, my professor down in Crow. But yeah, man, like that fight was like a little affected by it. I still give you a huge shout out to Ken Mafaleo. He brought it that night. But on the other hand, I was just getting started, and the ref there, his hometown, in his backyard,
Right.
me being a newcomer to Salt Lake. I try to like say I was from Salt Lake City, try to say I was from the Ronald, I try to get a little bit of love, but they weren't having it, dude. And yeah, dude, it was pretty wild. I had another fight with Luis Cortez like a few months after that in Idaho. We're still in Salt Lake, so we were like trying to hope we were going home then, but it didn't play out the way it did. We came back. I fought like the day before my birthday. That was a bittersweet one, losing on your birthday,
Right.
getting your ass whipped, going all 3 rounds and fucking not going your way. But goddamn, man, Billings, Montana,
I feel
man.
like that was directed. Almost like somebody was driving by that knew that we were on.
They could be, man.
I don't know.
But yeah, man, like I had a couple fights, but all of them were like high level guys.
Do you feel like if you had like a longer camp, more preparation, you could have done better?
Well, all these camps that I had while I was in the Ronald McDonald House, if you look at them, like I only had like 3, maybe, because a few, like other than the BKFC ones, like, because in the BKFC I got cut every time, so they give you 2 months suspension every time if you get cut. So I was in kind of like a shithole there, but like every one of them, they're like about 3-4 weeks apart. They weren't like full camps.
Right. What would you say your ideal length would be for a camp?
For like a legit camp,
Yeah.
like 12 weeks.
12 weeks?
Yeah, like good 3-month camp. Like look at Sugar Sean.
Right.
He was just now saying that exactly. I didn't have a perfect camp. All I had was 8 weeks.
That's why I brought up the camp, because I know a good camp can make and break a fight.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've honestly seen a lot of fighters that dicked off during their camp, and they could have won the fight because they've won the fight before.
I have a very weird look at how you do training camps, especially with amateur fighters and pro fighters. When you're an amateur fighter, you have to lose. You know what I mean? You
Right.
have to almost get broken in a way. And then when you go pro, you have a choice of either you're gonna be the average Joe, you're just gonna be one of the guys that show up, or you're gonna be the
King
one.
Kai.
You're gonna. Well, here's the thing with before we start mentioning Kai, and I love the shit out of Kai. Don't get me wrong.
I just like how much he flaunts himself like that.
Dude,
almost like McGregor.
I almost like a little McGregor. Like if McGregor was even shorter than he was now, it'd be Kai. If there was like a midget version of a leprechaun,
Hey, bro,
it'd be
keep
Kai.
the mic like about a fist away.
But yeah, like Kai's a whole different. I love the shit out of Kai because and me and my wife were talking about this the other day, but like with Kai, my love towards him, it comes from past hate and like what I seen him do today. Like back in the day, we kind of had like a heated thing because I fought a couple of his teammates.
Yeah.
Well, his prior teammates, they don't fight anymore, but I fought like a lot of his old teammates. And like one of his his homies, his best friend, Edward Fernandez is one of his homies. I like Kai. I like what he's doing. But if you ever watch any of his title fights, and I'm not complaining, I'm not gonna bitch and moan at any of them. But if you ever watch like any of his title fights, he's never knocked anybody out. He's only knocked one guy out, and he don't even fight anymore.
He's addressed that too. He doesn't
I
want to
seen
go
it
for
on
the,
Facebook.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go for the knockout. He wants to go in and break you.
Yeah, so he says, and you know what? Like I just said too, like
I don't know. Some people do chase the knockout, and some people do just chase showboating.
hey, there's showboating and like making a fight. You know what I mean? And
Making
you know
a
what?
show.
And this is what I give to Kai. He has made his own show.
Yeah.
So like, there's people like Sugar Sean. I used to fight when Sean was going around in the regional scene. Back in them days, the Sugar Show, that was what it was. It was him legit coming in there, this scrawny little fucker, just like him, scrawny little fucker from Montana.
I remember watching one of his fights back
and
in the day.
beating the bricks off of motherfuckers. And like, dude, like Sean back in the day was lethal.
Yeah,
He was,
I just
like,
remember.
dropping
I remember him
people
because of his
left
tattoos.
and right. Well, when Sean first started, he never had any of the tattoos. Like he was like dude, like he was a scrawny little boy. But like that's what like I say, like that's why I like Kai now. Like dude, like his development is like crazy. And it's not, and this is why I respect him and give him the admiration and the flowers he deserves. He has changed himself on his own. You see all these dudes that are doing these high level things like Sean, and I'm going to give you this very example. Sean had Tim. Kai had nobody. Kai didn't have this guy who was very high level in jiu-jitsu or very high level in boxing. He had, just what he had. And out of all the motherfuckers in Montana, you got to give Kai the biggest respect because Louis Lopez, the guy who he got the belt first off of, had a UFC motherfucking trainer. He was there every day. He was living, breathing in bare knuckle, and he got his ass shown up by a scrawny kid who was getting taught by a second class. Because you know what, I give a huge shout out to the old Wolfpack with Sean Ibsen and Dave Evans and all them guys, because man, dude, they made legit fighters. A lot of people who used to fight the Wolfpack back in the day, like dude, nobody really won, and they were back in them days. They were, I don't know if they're still in the basement of Times Square building, but they were like in a garage or somewhere. It wasn't like a big old gym now, like how it is.
Sometimes that's where the best fighters come out of.
And you know what? Back in the day, me and my brothers were fucking kicking everybody's ass, taking titles. But the only thing we had was just a backyard and ourselves. And that's why we got so good with head movement. That's why we got so good at knocking motherfuckers out, because we just couldn't stand in the range of each other. And if we got knocked out, you're hitting the fucking bare floor.
Right.
So
you're getting hit twice.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I give a huge respect to Kai Stewart. I love the shit out of him. But my biggest thing with Kai is like right now, like he's trying to like move up in a weight class. I love the super fights that are happening, but you can't make a super fight if you're running in your fights. You got to knock somebody out. You got to make them highlight reels. You don't get a highlight reel when the guy get back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I can't remember, was it Thompson or the guy he fought in Dubai? I can't remember his name. And see, that's another thing too. I don't even know who the guy he fought. I know who he fought.
I'm not good with fighter names, so I definitely don't.
Yeah, like dude, like if it's somebody like I don't know. I mean, when he fought Jimmy Rivera in Billings here, I thought that was like one of the best fights he had so
Yeah.
far to date. Was his Jimmy Rivera fight when he knocked him down, dude? I legit thought he knocked him out. But when Jimmy got back, but Jimmy fought in the UFC though. You know what I mean? So like a kid from Montana doing that to a UFC fighter just proves to why he's still standing up there.
Right, and it proves to fucking generations below him that it don't matter.
It don't matter where the fuck you come from.
Yeah, it don't matter where you come from. You can stand on top.
Or your fucking situation in life. Because Kai didn't have the best. You know what I mean?
Right, just
he
a
was
Great Falls kid, and now then
always
all of a sudden
picked
he's
second.
in Dubai.
all the way in motherfucking Dubai. This kid who was always picked second went all the way to Dubai.
All the way to fucking Dubai, bro. Dude, that just sounds insane.
Yeah, dude, it's rags to riches.
It is.
But
I hope to have him on. I talked to him at the 420 party, and he said he was down, but I didn't really want to like have him on right after all of that and make it seem like I was just having him on because all of a sudden he was blowing up.
yeah,
So I'm kind of waiting for things to like quiet down like they have a little and let him make some side decisions for himself and then have him on and discuss those new side decisions like that
Big
little
thing
hint
that-
at Ireland or
the big thing that I would love to see Kai do is that would set him up for life. I was really digging when he had the grinders and pipes, dude. But I understand like his like deals with like the I can't remember the spice company, but the cracked skull pepper Alpine Spice Company, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I like some like that.
Yeah.
But like his own
Investments.
brand. Yeah, hardcore like his own brand.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't wait to see like what he has in store. And like that was like the old Kai because Kai was still trying. And that's the crazy thing about like combat sports nowadays. It has become
A business.
yeah. You have to like be able to promote yourself
Mm-hmm.
and make this like image of yourself. So like
Right. It's not just about how many fights you can win.
yeah.
It's about how popular can you get while winning those
And
fights.
what is the product you are giving?
Mm-hmm.
Because just like Kai, he is a very, very rare product. Because not only is he's not only is he young, but he is undefeated. And not only is the champion, but he is the 5-time champion.
Right.
And
World
champion
champion.
of something that is taking off beyond anybody's expectations. So, I'm very, excited for what he does next. And that's what sells. So, like,
Mhm.
that's why I'm doing my whole thing with, trying to promote. I'm trying to help
Right.
these younger gentlemen, find that image. You know what I mean? And like that's why I'm not like trying to get it really associated with the local fight organization that used to be there, Res Brawl. But I'm giving them all the shout outs because without Ernest Littlebird there wouldn't be a Bam Roundstone.
Right.
So, I'm not saying I don't like them, but this is just a whole different identity. We're going to be professional. We're going to bring it, and we're going to fucking have a hell of a show July 5th.
So with that, what are you doing July 5th?
So, July 5th, I am going to put on an all-amateur card. Like right now, verbally, we have 13 fights. I submitted my my application to get it sanctioned. I put in my small business license, so I'm a small business owner now. Roundstone Brothers Incorporated. But yeah, dude, we're gonna come out July 5th during the annual Northern Cheyenne Chiefs powwow with Rumble on the Res. There you go. I'm not, I didn't name it. My wife named it. And so, like, my wife, she comes up with the best.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Dude, and she's like the Rumble on the Bronx. And I was all like, Rumble on the Res. Cause dude, like, yeah, like I love the older school boxing. When boxing used to actually like make a name for him,
Right.
or like when Conor McGregor fought Jose Aldo,
Oh,
when they
yeah.
had that whole build up of that, dude, like that's what makes me like really watch the fight. You know what I mean? Even though it's a little showy, I
Yeah.
fucking love the shit
Those
out of it.
build-ups are always super dope.
Oh, dude,
Some
the
of
ones
them
that
get super crazy, like when they start fighting at the fucking
oh, dude,
weigh-in and
it's
shit.
getting wild.
They're all
But-
fucking just standing up, and all of a sudden just BAM!
A part of me is wondering if it's staged.
Dude, at least half of them have
At
to be,
least.
bro.
The ones that they allow to be staged.
Yeah.
But
They're like, all right. We want you to punch him. You will get penalized, but it'll be good publicity. So you got to do it. They'll air it on all sports channels because you just decked the dude at weigh-ins. All right. The amount of money that they're gonna make off of that publicity is gonna fucking outweigh that.
I
fine
think
they're
the
about
ones
to
in
get.
like Russia, those ones are definitely staged. The one with like John Jones and Nick
Oh, fuck
Diaz
yeah,
in there,
bro. Fuck
dude.
yeah.
Though that one was definitely staged. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you know, they got into a fight. No, dude, they're like, dude, like, come on. But like what Nick Diaz said in that fucking interview like a couple weeks ago, he's like, I'm getting sued by everybody. He's like, if you ain't getting sued by anybody, you ain't famous yet. So I was like, hell yeah,
That's the fucking truth.
I was like, man, can't wait till I get sued. But yeah, man, July 5th, Rumble on the Res. Man, dude, do I do it here? I might as well. So the main event for Rumble on the Res is going to be a heavyweight title fight between Josh Felicia and Anthony Bearbelow.
Oh shit.
And the co-main event, I didn't want to drop this one, but I'm gonna give everybody the fucking, you know, the cookie. But the co-main event, man, how am I gonna do this? The co-main event definitely is gonna have Alana Rowland in it. If nobody's familiar with Alana Rowland, she is, I think she's like 4-0, but she is a heavyweight, and she has knockout motherfucking power. And everybody who
wanna know
used
what's
in
funny
the
about that name?
old fusion days.
You wanna know what's funny about that name?
What up?
She's dating my uncle.
So you know Alana.
Uh-huh.
So Alana is 4-0 or 4-1. I think she lost in. Yeah, that's right. She lost in Washington.
My uncle shows up with a black eye one day, some fucked up ribs. Why do you keep letting her beat up on you like that?
She is mean as fuck. But you know what? I had to get her on this card. I know that was going to be the main event, but Josh Felicia is a fucking animal. And I hate to really say this, but like Anthony Bearbelow, he is. If there was anybody that I can kind of like mimics my style, it'd be Anthony Bearbelow. He can take it and he can fucking give it. Even though this kid is, I think he is now like 2-3, but even though he's on a losing record, this kid fought some legit dudes.
Yeah.
He fought a dude I fought not too long ago, Braden Peterson. That dude is a huge motherfucker. And I'm not gonna like play him down, but dude, he's an ex-cop, and like he's like 6'6", and Anthony went all 3 rounds with him. So dude, that's I took my hat off to that. So I had to get him as the fucking to fight Josh Felicia.
Right.
Josh Felicia is a 4-time state wrestling champion in a heavyweight division for Cold Strip, I believe. But he's 3-0, and Josh Felicia deserves this because dude, he's been on the rebound, but he's been doing rodeo, he's been boxing, he's been keeping active. So I am really very 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 excited for this main event. And then we have a feature fight. Sankey Brady is gonna fight Chesko Bloodman. If nobody is familiar with Chesko Bloodman, Chesko is 2-0 and he fights out of the Grindhouse. So he's a heavy-handed 155er. And Sankey, I love Sankey because he reminds me of myself. He brings the show. He is the show.
Yeah.
I told Sankey and Chesko that they were going to be the main event. I am totally sorry about that. But I wanted them to be at least feature fight because this fight is gonna. Someone's going to sleep.
Yeah.
Someone is. This is the one that has me having the ambulance on scene.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, this one's gonna be the fight of the night. It's gonna be Sankey versus Chesko. It's kind of just like Anthony and Josh. Chesko has heavy hands. So does Sankey, but Sankey just doesn't know how to go down, and nobody has ever hit Chesko where fucking it looked like it hurt him. So this is gonna be definitely a really big test for both the gents. Definitely for Chesko, because Chesko he fought like, I don't want to say cans, because my nephew is one of them, but he fought people that shouldn't have been in there with him, and I think this is going to be one of the guys that should be in there with him. And for Sankey, this is definitely a step up in well, Sankey has fought some guys that he shouldn't have, but this is definitely like the step of where he needs to be. This is like the fights people need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is gonna make or break both. Or well, I shouldn't even say that. It's gonna make them both. You know, if either or which way it goes. If Sankey beats Chesko, holy shit. If Chesko beats Sankey in like spectacular fashion, holy shit. Because this kid, like I cornered him over at Hudson's last year, and dude, he just wouldn't shut up. He would be war crying, jumping around, let's go motherfucker, this and that. I'm like, damn kid. So huge shout out to Sankey. But the rest of the card, everybody's gonna have to wait until I drop that one, but it's gonna be a hell of a card. The main event, Josh Felicia versus Anthony Berbelo, and I am gonna be very excited. I have a title belt getting made. It's going to be in honor of my grandpa Leroy. He was actually one of my first coaches. So it's going to be the Leroy Whitey White Man Honor or Memorial Heavyweight Championship. So whoever gets this belt, they're going to be the baddest motherfucker on the res. So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I've been super busy. I think I'm going to do either Monday or Tuesday. I got to cut off all the fighters. I wanted originally about 15 fights. I'm hitting on 16. Still waiting for confirmation. But yeah, dude, got the contracts out. Well, I should say I haven't gotten them out. I'm going to get them out tonight. But after tonight, everybody's signed and ready, and it's going to be one hell of a show.
Yeah.
And make your way to Lame Deer, Montana, July 5th.
Sounds like it's going to be a show, dude.
It's going to be a great one. We're going to have a lot of people there. We're going to have a cage, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be fucking fun. I just can't wait.
How do you feel about the cage? Like, overall, like, with everything, do you like having a cage, or would you rather it be more of like an open space with a set boundary? But
so when I first started fighting, like, dude, we did it on the old. Well, no, when I first fought for Earn Dog, we did it in the old ring. But then one of my fights up in Miles City, it was on a wrestling mat. So like there was no ring, and then like everybody like kind of crowded around it. That's what kind of got me freaked out. I was only about maybe 18 at the time, 17. I was
yeah, because some people see having a ring there as like a advantage point,
as a tool.
Or something. Yeah, a tool.
Yeah, they try to use it as a tool.
It helps you get up, this and that.
If you're fight IQ and you know what you're doing in there, and you know how to use the cage, hell yeah. But like the cage to boxing ring difference, I don't really see a big difference.
Well, I'm not even meaning like ring. I'm no
just
borders, no borders.
Like
painted borders.
Like I don't know if you watch him, but like Craig Jones, he does like the pit. They like
I think I've heard of it.
It's like a mat, but like it's in. They have like little like almost like cave style, like little walls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
So if
style,
you try to like climb with them, that you just slide back
You,
in.
if you're like trying to fall back or anything, you're gonna hit the corner and hit the ground, and then
Yeah.
people are gonna be on top of you. And then like the ones like Ken Shamrock is having with his Valor bare knuckle, like that one is like the concept I would be okay with. Like, but they're like it's like very it's like on like almost like on a pedestal.
Yeah.
So,
I was
like,
just thinking like a bowl.
Yeah, like a little
A
bowl.
bowl would be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, a bowl would be really cool.
Everybody sits above.
Yeah, that's kind of how like Craig Jones does it. It's kind of like a little pit. It's like a squared pit, and everybody kind of looks in.
Yeah, see, I think I heard Joe Rogan talk about
Karate
that
Combat
once.
too. They do that same thing. Theirs is called the pit though. But yeah, dude, I love that shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know with the cage, cause you know, cause my old school trades come out, and I'm a wrestler. Like I like using the cage. You know what I mean? I like fucking putting them up there against it. Beat him up a little bit, picking him up and slamming the shit out of him. That shit just gets me excited.
See, I feel like
gets me horny every time.
I feel like if I was out there, I would want it to be more like a wrestling mat, so that I felt at home, because I was always a wrestler, not a fucking boxer.
Well, back in the day when I first started fighting, that was kind of like my thing. I wouldn't even throw a punch. I was just like getting you, grinding you, and then like putting you down, and then hitting you.
Right.
But like, dude, like, the evolution of it, like, dude, that's what I try to teach wrestlers, like, right off the bat. Like, what you're doing on the ground, do it on the cage wall. You know what I mean? It's like basically an addition where your feet can now touch the wall, and you're, you know. So yeah, dude, like I like it for that purpose. For like boxing and like, I don't want to like drop any details, but like what Fusion's doing, like with bare knuckle, like, dude, that's getting people murdered. Like how you can corner people in there. The squared circle, you can kind of almost do the same thing with those pads.
Yeah.
But you're easier to get out. But when you're stuck in that cage corner, dude, you can wail on motherfuckers. And that's what I seen Leo trying to do with Sam Polk when they had a bare knuckle fight. I could see he was trying to get him in the corner. But like, dude, Sam just has heavy hands. So yeah dude, that was a great fight too. But yeah.
But yeah, even in boxing, like when you watch old boxers, they'd punch them over into the corner and then just start obliterating them in the corner.
That was like Mike Tyson's thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He always did that peekaboo, and then you're always like backing up, and then like whop 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 whop.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're in the corner and you're sitting there. Oh, what time is it? 7:47. Time flies. What are you looking at?
Oh, Dallas. Oh man, I thought the Weaver was gonna be here. Thought the dad man was gonna
family.
be. Yeah.
We've both been super busy. I've been working 2 jobs.
I feel you.
He's been fucking working on his family and trying to get the lab back in order.
I feel that too. Yeah, man. Like, I'm about to start Monday again. I'm about to start going back to framing and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle.
I've been
has
doing
it up
interior
there.
trim the last couple of months.
Oh, nice interior.
Today I was standing there staring at the siders and staring at the roof. And I was just like,
oh yeah, want to go out there and play. I wanted to
it's
go
like, can
roof
I come
the other
outside
day.
and play? It's nice
I know,
out.
right?
It's like 80 degrees out, sunny. I'm all, fuck, bro, it's hot out there.
110 inside.
And my boss is all, yeah, I'm glad we're in here. And I'm all, I'm not.
I know, right?
I wish I was out there. I miss lawn care, bro. Like, being out in the sun.
So you're not doing lawn care no more?
No.
So what's the other job?
So I do the interior trim during the day.
And then you're doing...
And then I cook at night.
Yep, I like it. I love it, dude.
I don't. I fucking hate cooking for the public.
For the public.
Yeah.
But you're an artist for yourself.
Yeah.
I love it.
But because of how I cook, I'm an artist for the public because I won't send you out garbage.
True that, dude. That was my whole thing too. I'll let the tickets stack up. I don't give a shit. I'll get a full
I'll get
wall.
them out. I'll get them out
dude,
in time.
I can smack a wall easy right now, dude.
The manager last night, he all walks up and he looks at me and he goes, "You gonna be all right tonight?" I go, "What do you mean?" He's all running 2 screens. And I'm all, "Should be fine." And he's all, "I'm a little worried." Well, what do you mean you're a little worried? Well, I've been here a lot of years, and I only run one screen during the day. So I can only imagine running 2 screens at night. And this is like the exact thing he's doing, like shaking his hand like this with the same exact facial expressions. And I just look at him and go, nah, bro, I got this. And he's all, you seem pretty sure. And I was all, confidence is key. I had 2 up cooks, and apparently I forgot a 6-ounce steak somewhere, so I had to fucking
Just throw it in the fryer.
no, I just tossed it at the back of the fucking oven and
Yeah, flash cook. Yeah, I love that
flash
shit.
cooked that shit right out. It was only a medium rare.
I'm not,
so
I was about to
it
say,
wasn't
I
that long.
still like that too, man.
So,
Especially when it comes out of the oven. I used to eat them all the time.
well, no, it wasn't. It was in their grill, but at the very, very back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was fucking out in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Fucking A. I
It was
miss the
medium
kitchen.
rare.
But I know this one thing is I know I can't go back.
Yeah.
I just can't.
The kitchen sucks, bro. Construction's way better.
I love it. Yeah, I love construction, but
Or lawn care.
man, those early mornings.
I love them.
But you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, regardless.
Yeah.
So
I don't actually start doing my construction job till 8:30. I told my boss I didn't want to start till 8:30 when I started working for him again. I was all, I'm not gonna take a lunch, but I'm not starting till 8:30.
so everybody's up showing up at 7:30. You're just still chilling, huh?
Well, when everybody's showing up at 7, and it's just me and him. So when all the other trades are showing up at like 6 or 7, and then I come strutting in at 8:30, all fucking chipper looking and happy. I got this big old smile on my face. I'm baked as fuck, bro. And everybody's all, bro, it's 8:30. What you're just showing up. Yep. I don't start till 8:30.
I love it.
Bro, coworker at the other job looks at me and goes, bro, you run off of like 4 hours of sleep? How do you have this much energy and seem this happy at 7 o'clock at night? And I'm all, I don't think I can tell you. No energy drinks. I actually got an energy drink Wednesday morning, and by Wednesday afternoon was regretting it because I was tired.
I feel you.
I wanted to go to bed. That energy drink wore off.
Yeah. Man, I can only do coffee nowadays.
I drink Mountain Dew, and even at this point, Mountain Dew's starting to taste funny to me, so it's like I either got to find a different drink or I'm just going to be drinking water. It probably ain't a bad thing. I need to drink more water. I don't drink enough water. When I'm at Reuben Chop, I drink a lot of water.
Oh yeah, I need them from the grills.
Dude, literally. And like when I first show up, I'm dumb and I'll grab a lemonade, and I'll start getting like heartburn and all like queasy and shit, and I'm just like, I'm not sweating is the problem. So I'll go out there and grab a fucking nice ice cold ice water and fucking start chugging on that, and then the sweat just starts pouring and all those feelings go away, and I'm just
all them feelings.
and I'm just like, I feel so good. So I keep a lemonade and a water at my station.
That's best to do.
Yeah.
I do too. I used to
Rock 'em
lemon
both.
water. Yeah. If they only had lemonade, then yeah.
We got Minute Maid lemonade.
Oh fucking A.
That shit
That's the fire.
fire.
That's the fire, man.
So
Oh, I looked at
fire.
me. She's like, "What do you like?" I was like, "Man, you don't know. You just don't know."
Minute Maid is the lemonade, man.
Oh, dude. The pink one though.
Dude, the pink one slaps. Did you see that they got a blue one?
No.
He's all, no. What do you mean?
fuck,
It's like a
dude.
blue raspberry, bro. I haven't got to try it, but I saw it. I saw the infamous blue raspberry.
When
It
I
was
used-
legit blue, and it was a Minute Maid lemonade, and I like 90% sure. Jess will look it up. That it was a blue raspberry.
Oh.
No. There it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
Blue
Oh,
raspberry.
Shit.
That shit looks bussin', bro.
Fucking A, dude. After a long day, right after a good fucking dab.
Bro, and if the yellow and the pink are flame, then the fucking blue obviously is gonna be flame. So, pull the chat down really quick. Right before the show, I was sitting here. Dude, there's a fucking hut right there with a fucking boat, too.
Dude, yeah.
So I was totally saying,
house over
I was all,
there.
can we just move to this island, Jess? I was like, I'll get us a Starlink connection and we could do the podcast from there. And see, there's totally an intake for the fucking podcast guests to show up in.
Yep.
I was all,
Roll in.
dude, just imagine though, doing a podcast in the middle of this right here. On a boat.
On a boat. Had to be a big motherfucker boat.
I mean, a decent sized boat. You're not gonna
Oh,
go out
yeah.
there in a fucking
A
canoe.
pontoon, yeah, like a pontoon.
Yeah, a pontoon.
Yeah, that'd be legit. I've been thinking about fishing today. Man, I
Oh, the
think
other night I
Sunday-
looked at the cooks while we were... Oh, no, actually, it was last night. I looked at the cooks while we were getting our asses kicked, and I was all... I just want to say, fuck this and go fishing.
Right? Fucking A. Just throw your apron up. Throw your rag
All right,
down.
guys, fuck off. We're going fishing.
Throw your rag down. Say fuck it. Throw your black shirt
You
off.
want to know what? Don't even say anything to anyone. Just drop everything and let's go fishing. All of a sudden, there's no cooks in the kitchen. Where'd all the cooks go?
The disaster has become.
Oh, my God, bro.
Dude, that'd be like legit the apocalypse in Reuben Chop House.
Bro, that'd be the apocalypse in any
Dude.
restaurant.
Dude. Two cooks was always bad when they left. With a line of 4, yeah, dude. When the 2 left, that was hard. Running like 2 stations on your own. That was a motherfucker back in them days.
Bro. Yeah, we're short-staffed, apparently.
I think the rib shop is always short-staffed. It was short-staffed when I was there.
Everybody's short-staffed.
Everybody.
My other job's short-staffed. My boss doesn't believe me when I say we're short-staffed. I'm always like, bro, we're understaffed. No, we're not. It only takes 2 of us to do this job. Yeah, we're understaffed.
We need a 3rd. Someone I can get mad at.
Yeah, we need somebody I can boss around. You gotta remember, I was a crew lead for 3 years. I need someone to boss around too, bro. Can't just walk around here bossing myself around. Then I look crazy. It is nice not to be the fucking lead anymore, though, and just to take the orders and be dumb.
I feel you there. I feel you there. It was hard being a boss.
He wants to retire, so it's probably time for me to fucking step up and fucking learn the rest of the shit I need to learn so that he could either just make me a foreman and retire and just have me running shit,
Fucking A.
or just retire and I take over all of his jobs but under my own LLC.
Fucking A.
I kind of want to pitch something to him and be like, so let's get me trained up on the rest of the shit. And then for the first year, I'll just be a foreman. And after that first year, it becomes my business.
Hell yeah.
Like, not necessarily his actual name, business becomes mine, but that shit, everything, it just becomes, me. He's still profiting that first year into retirement, figuring out what he actually wants to do. Because he's like me, he doesn't want to fucking actually retire. He keeps talking about, like, oh, maybe I'll just build some furniture. Because he's fucking got super keen attention to detail type shit. And fucking, he has all the fucking tools for a workshop and everything.
Fucking A. That's always good. Especially when you have the tools. My last boss, he didn't have no tools. It's hard to do a job with no tools.
It is very hard to do a job with no tools.
Yeah.
And see, that's my other thing is, if I want to retire him, I know he's not going to give me his tools. I've got to come
So
up
you
with
need
my
your
own
own
tools.
That's the part. Yep.
I mean, I have basic like hand tools and whatnot, and I got my own gun and shit. But I had a lot more tools 3 years ago when I was working with him. But this time around, so I'm gonna buy a fucking trailer here soon and start outfitting it for fucking construction tools.
Start renting your tools. Yeah, man. Put a tracker on them like a fucking iPhone tracker.
Oh, renting my tools. Yeah. Oh, I see
like
what
put a
you're
little
saying.
padlock on there. Put a fucking iPhone tracker.
Nah, I'm good. I like to buy fucking expensive tools, bro. I'm a
Man,
Makita guy.
Is your dab thing heated up?
Yeah.
You got dabs?
Nah, I'm all out. I can roll up another joint though.
Man, dude, I knew I should have brought my van. I have a shitload of dabs on my van.
Oh shit.
Next time.
Next time.
I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of dabs next time too. Got too much dabs. And the day I needed them,
There's no such thing as too much dabs.
dude. I it's hard. Well, I had like a little like a Puffco or whatever it was called, but like, dude, like that's all we could have done with. I had a little nectar collector. That was about it. But other than that, like a bong though, you know, you can't just be cruising around. Well, I can't be cruising around in motherfucking downtown Salt Lake. Just
I don't think I would be cruising around the middle of downtown Salt Lake.
like fucking in a 5-laner, just. I don't know. Maybe with one of those.
You're definitely gonna catch me
systems,
puffing a joint,
Oh, definitely.
but
dog.
I ain't gonna be fucking.
So is that
ripping
your
a
weed
bong.
that you just not pulled out?
Yeah,
No shit.
that shit we just smoked was the weed I grew.
Wow. Applause. What was it called?
That one was Shinobi Blood.
Wow. Props. That's
Thank
fucking almost like dispo worthy.
Appreciate
That
that.
I didn't even smoke till I got here, so that dude, I got me pretty floated. Like it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was dispo weed.
It's
I was like, dude, you got a whole bunch of. I was like, you're
it's
putting your.
got jars of dispo weed, bro.
I know, dude. I
Yeah.
thought you were just throwing them in your jars or something, you know?
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. I had somebody tell me while I was growing that the weed I was growing looked like dispo weed, and that
Dude, it looked.
I just
I
needed
seen
to
the
take
pictures.
my plant over and fucking show my plant to the owner, and that I'd have a job instantly. And I was all, no, I'm good. I don't want to work in a dispensary.
I feel that.
If I work in a dispensary, it's gonna be the dispensary I own.
I love that now. That's
Oh, hey,
a better
Jess,
one.
did you see that a new dispensary opened up on the West End? Wait. Frontier Drive. Yeah, that's the West End, I'm pretty sure. She is gonna look it up.
Okay, there. Here we go. Now we're on to the marijuana questions.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, dude, a lot of the dispos that have opened up since I left, fucking crazy. I remember reading like a post, like about 30 of them, 40 of them opened, brand new opened.
Yeah, we're up to like almost 40 dispensaries, I think.
Wow.
We might be over that 40 threshold, actually.
Dude, when I first got here and I was going down, oh wow.
I mean,
I was-
dispensary buildings themselves, yeah, we've broke that 40 threshold.
Wow. Yeah, dude, I was cruising down there, and then right by that intersection, like right before you start going up to the heights,
Yep.
there's a dispo
Yep.
right there. Dude,
Is
blew
that
me
dispo?
away. That's what it's called. That
Yeah,
dispo.
the dispo.
The dispo. That's cool.
The dispo, and it's because
I haven't stopped
it's
in yet,
because
but now I'm going
They only
to.
have one product in there that is their own product.
Wow.
Everything else in there is wholesale bought across Montana.
Oh, okay.
So
it's
they are
highly
the
expensive.
dispo that carries every dispo.
Wow. That's cool.
It's the one-stop shop, bruh.
It's a one-stop shop. That's badass.
That's kind of what Connor has done with his
Forever
place.
Green?
Yeah, Forever Green. He's
Nice.
kind of made it a one-stop shop with a bunch of fucking variety names.
Wow. But he still has like all of his, or
I believe Forever Green is his.
yes.
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not associated with
With
Collective Elevation anymore.
So
But he does
is
carry
Collective
some.
Elevation still?
No.
So that has disappeared.
Collective Elevation is their own dispensary group.
Wow. So there's still a Collective Elevation.
Yeah, there is still a Collective Elevation. Connor didn't own Collective Elevation. Connor owned the Billings location.
I went to Connor for years.
It was like
but
franchise. It was
know.
basically like a franchise tag off of the original Collective Elevation. Does that make sense?
A little bit. Wow.
Now he was just able to break free of that franchise tag and open up his own name.
Is like something gonna die? I heard.
No, she hit a button that she wasn't supposed to hit.
I thought it was gonna blow up or something. I thought it was gonna blow up or something. It scared me.
Oh, all right, man. It was good catching up with you, dude.
It was, dude. It was great to see you too, brother. It's always great to fucking see you.
Fuck yeah, bro. I'm always...
The switch up is fucking badass.
Hey, dude, I appreciate that. I like this table, but like I said, I want to frame it out, get some like nice wood to trim it with, and then fucking build some nice legs for it, and make it look like an actual table.
You're pretty much just building a table. You're not framing a table. You're just building a table.
Yeah.
From a pre-existing table.
I mean, kinda. It's got this plastic table underneath it for
dude,
support.
It's fucking awesome, dude. I love every bit of it. It's fucking badass.
Yeah, I like it too.
The fucking panel is great.
It would be really cool to go find a dope ass tree to cut a fucking...
Like a fucking redwood or something.
Yeah.
Like have a fucking huge ass table in there.
Just sit there and fucking cut my own fucking slab off. That's me, bro. I gotta cut my own slab off of it. I don't want it. I don't want it unless I cut that bitch. I'm gonna build that table. I don't want it unless I build that table.
I love it. I love it.
I like working with wood, so I'm not gonna go buy a fucking $10,000 table that I can fucking build.
Yeah, we're grown men. We like to work with our own wood.
All right, man, dude. Have a fucking fantastic weekend, dude. I appreciate you coming on.
Had to. It's fun.
We'll definitely have you on again in the future. You're always welcome.
Definitely. Gonna have to hit up one of your wake and bake some days. I can't remember what one it was, but
they're Saturday mornings. We're starting to do them bi-weeklies. But I think, I don't know. Right now we're doing them bi-weeklies. We might transition back eventually to doing them weekly. And then Grow Talks is on pause right now. Oh yeah, and this was our last live Puffin Pass.
Oh shit.
So the rest of them will be recorded and then uploaded to YouTube and Spotify afterwards.
Oh wow. Oh
yeah.
Shit, I'm making history.
Yeah.
Oh, that's badass too. I like that too. I like that progress. It's fucking becoming...
Well, since we got kicked off of Facebook, we lost a lot of viewers during the Puffin Pass. So we just thought, aside from the loss of viewers during the Puffin Pass, we figured a conversation is between two people, not the audience.
Yeah, I feel that.
I also feel like sometimes the chat distracts the guest. Like, that's why we stopped putting the cameras on the TVs, because it was distracting the guests. They'd sit there and fucking stare at themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Making sure that they look good and whatnot. And it's like, bro, like with the cameras, or with the video there, that meant that they knew that these were on. And without that there, they forget these are even running.
That's true. Some do, some don't. I know they are. They've been looking right at me the whole time.
They've been giving me that one eye.
That one eye.
And it's not that pretty one eye. All right, guys. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you here in the morning for for Wake and Bake.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah, Father's Day weekend.
Oh, so you're gonna do Wake and Bake tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring some dabs.
Okay.
Just because you didn't have them today, I'll bring them tomorrow.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Inhale the smoke, let it rise to the sky. Floating high, feeling so alive. Roll it up tight, spark it up bright. Leave your worries behind, take flight. We're riding on clouds, feeling so free. Lost in the haze, just you and me. Smoke in the air, we're in our zone. Living in the moment, never alone. Passing it round in a circle we go. Sharing stories, letting our minds flow. Time slows down in this tranquil state. Every puff bringing a new escape. We're riding on clouds, feeling feeling so free, lost in the haze, just